wing it. And here's why, because I've been working on my business all day long and I've posted into my group a couple of times today. This is my group that has my practitioners in it. I've posted in there a couple times today and I just keep seeing these comments of, are you talking directly to me? So as I sat here and I was working on some business stuff, I totally just, you don't ignore your intuition, I'm telling you, because intuition is there for a reason. So as I started feeling like I have to hop on here, one of you somewhere needs to hear this. It's really good. I'm going to give you a quick little tidbit. So I am just going to change my little screen over, guys. I'm just doing an impromptu live because I want to share a really powerful thing with you. Part of this is coming from just having that intuitive moment where I'm like, somebody needs to hear this. And another part of it is because I am, there we go. I'm just, it's when you're an empath, those of you that are, raise your hand and you're absorbing the energy of other people right now. I am just seeing so many people on social media who are getting into a rut. And I'm like, no, like it's about to be a new year. And for some of you, like that just hits hard because you're beating yourself up because you're looking back over your 2022 and you're saying to yourself, I didn't accomplish anything that I set myself out to. Now, I'm sarcastic. I'll make a light of it. Here's the one thing. If you had a list last year and you didn't accomplish any of it, well, think about this. Your list is still there. You don't even have to make it. Just use it again, right? But really, here's the thing. As I realize that I have like a new microphone that I'm not even using, that's okay. I'm going to tell you, growth is growth. So I have decided my big personal goal this year is, because when I work with clients, I do a session with them. We talk about stuff, we release things, we get them into a good place. And it's like they always, you want more because you get a little taste, right? It's like, oh, this is so good. And you start feeling that like emotional power and you're getting balanced and you're getting on top of your game. And then my client will, start asking me questions and I want to help, but I'm limited with my time. So how do I do that? How do I help the most amount of people with the amount of time that I have? And I was like, yep, no, this is it. Like my goal for 2022 is to absolutely relaunch my YouTube channel, cut out the BS, give it to you like I like to, no nonsense. Like what can you actually take from it? Because I get the marketing strategy behind it, but I always hate it when I sign up for something and I'm like in a, 45-minute training. And it's like at the very end, they try to sell you all this stuff and you're like, because I just wasted 45 minutes and I didn't actually get anything. And that just doesn't roll with me. Like that doesn't feel right. And so for me, I like to give you as much as I can. And then I'm like, coolio, if you want to continue working with me, you will. But I got to give you some of the, what I like to call meat and potatoes. So here's what I want you to do. Okay. I'm going to give you some just deliciousness right now. Growth is growth. So my YouTube channel has remained completely stagnant for like since 2018. Like maybe honestly, I got like a subscriber every 4 months. I don't know. Like I wasn't even paying attention to it. Honestly, my streaming service is just like uploading videos because it's automatic. Hold on. Let me tell Boo. He's so cute. Okay, LOL. Anyway, so as I started working on my YouTube channel and putting some time and effort into it, and actually started focusing on it, I was like, dang, like I start to see subscribers starting to trickle. And it's a trickle. It's like turning on your faucet. It's dripping little by little, but it's growth. And any type of growth is growth. He's so cute. Okay. And so, how do you, it's your cognitive mind that gets in the way and it comes along and it's like, oh, you're not doing good enough. Oh, your growth isn't big enough. Oh, your accomplishment um, is isn't reaching a goal, because I didn't set a goal right for this, because I'm working on it. Hello, thank you. I love yeah. It just says Facebook user because of which platform you're coming on. So let me cheat. I can cheat. Let me see. I know. I love you. I'm pretty sure I know who you are just because you're awesome. And there we go. Okay. So here's the thing. Give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit where credit is due, because, hi, Chantal. Yes, I thought so. I love seeing you so happy too. I saw your post earlier today and I was like, this girl deserves this happiness. And actually, I was going to post a meme that was completely inspired by the post that you made. And it was going to be something along the lines of something to do with sometimes our smile is really hiding so much pain. Because I was paralleling, right? I don't want to get emotional, but I was paralleling my own 2022 with what you were saying. And I just literally was going through some of my videos and some of my photos, and I was like, dang, like I'm in so much pain and nobody knows it. Like, probably the only people that were even aware, are like my super close friend at work and my kids, and maybe not even my mom. But it's just, it is what it is. And I'm a huge advocate for always saying, like, I try to keep my social media super honest and super raw and super real, but there also has to be a balance with that, right? When I'm struggling and I'm going through issues in my marriage, like, I can't necessarily just come on social media and show all of that to everyone. Like, there's a time and a place for things. Because I really was fighting so hard to make it work. I'm just one of those people. It's like I commit to something and that's how I am. But yeah, lots of pain hiding behind lots of smiles and lots of things going on that I didn't want to burden anyone with, or, place. I didn't want to become a page of negativity, so to speak. But anyways, okay, so focus. I'm going to tell you, like, let's give ourselves credit where credit is due. Because, right, I can look back and be like, wow, I legally got divorced in 2022. So henceforth, that feels like a failure if I look at it on paper, right? But the reality of it is, it's growth. And I made a post the other day that, purpose, sometimes it's really painful to get to your purpose. Someone made a comment earlier today that said, they said something along the lines of, I don't know why I had to go through so much to get to this point of my life. I mean, because sometimes it is, it's like, why, I'm in my 40s. Like, why did I have to trample through so much mud to get to this space where I'm like, I'm resonating and I'm happy? It's because it's necessary. You can't do calculus. I hate math. You can't do calculus. You can't go right into calculus if you jump out of, general math. It's just part of the progress. That's part of the purpose. So as you're looking back, as we all are doing right now, looking back at our 2022, we're beating ourselves up and we're like, I didn't accomplish everything that I wanted to. Stop. Give yourself credit where credit is due. I don't even care if that thing you're giving yourself credit for wasn't even something you were trying to do. I mean, I certainly, didn't start out my year thinking about half the stuff that I went through, but here we are. So give yourself credit. I want you to pick 3 things, because I love to do things by 3 by 3. Follow after me. It is the way it is. So I want you to pick 3 things. I don't care how big they are. I don't care how small they are. I don't really care what flavor they are. Okay. Your subconscious doesn't care either. It does not realize, reconcile. It does not, whatever. This, it doesn't care, as I spit on myself. It really doesn't. As long as you confirm with your cognizant mind that this is a positive, your subconscious will believe it. It's the cool thing about the subconscious mind. It listens and believes what you say. That's why you have to be really careful with what you say. And I'm not even talking about out loud. I'm talking about that little inner voice, because dang, you can devastate yourself by the way you're talking to you. Because think of it like this. Your subconscious mind wants to do everything to make you happy. It places you in a state of fight or flight all the time because it's trying to save you. It wants you to be safe. It's this, survival mode. So if I say something to myself like, I'm a human being, I have moments. The other night, I was like, man, I decided to try on some shorts because I was like, I think I was just hoping for warm weather. And I caught myself criticizing the way that I looked. And I was like, what is wrong with me? You know, don't talk negatively to yourself like that. And I hadn't gained weight. Nothing was different than the last time I had them on. So then I was like, here's what I need to do, focus on the positive. I started saying to myself, like, no, blah, blah, blah. And I started having a positive conversation. So notice when you do that, you're having a negative conversation with yourself, catch yourself and stop, because it's no different. I want you to think about it like this. If you are a parent, I want you to think about how would I have this conversation with my kid? Hopefully not, because I don't want to be putting all this toxic phrases, negative core beliefs into my kid. Would I talk to my mom like this? I mean, pick a person in your life that means something to you. Would I talk to my so-and-so like this? If the answer to your question is no, you need to not be talking to yourself like that either. Okay, so let's give ourselves credit where credit is due. Pick 3 things. I don't care how big, how small they are, because your subconscious loves to listen to you and make you happy. It doesn't understand the difference, though, between doing that in a positive way or doing that in a negative way. So pick something. And I'm telling you, I don't even care. What's something that I learned really? Okay, I learned to drive a tractor. That's, to some people, maybe to some dudes, working on a farm, they're like, well, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. I had no idea how to do it. I have a huge driveway that I'm now responsible for clearing snow off of. So between YouTube and having my kiddo help me, I was like, I need to learn how to drive this tractor and clear the snow from my home. Something pretty simple, like realistically, it probably all in all took me like 2 hours to do the whole thing. And so you're like, wow, Amy, you're focusing on a 2-hour thing in a whole year period. See, that's the cognitive mind getting in the way. So you don't listen to that part. You align yourself with, yes, I learned to drive a tractor. This is an accomplishment. I'm now, capable of plowing my driveway. So see what I'm saying? Don't do that to yourself where your cognitive mind gets in the way and is like, well, that's not a big enough accomplishment. Says who? Says some stupid, layered on conditional belief that you've gotten from somebody somewhere. So pick your 3 things. I don't care how big, little, small. Maybe you stopped taking a medication. Maybe you got through an illness. Maybe you had a really good conversation with someone that needed to happen. Pick something. Just pick your 3 things, because here's what happens. When you do that and your subconscious starts being like, wow, I accomplished something, you start vibrating higher, right? Because you're getting rid of failure. You're getting rid of hopelessness. You're getting rid of helplessness. All these things that I work on with my clients, I'm telling you how to do it like really quickly. So make this a habit. Yes, exactly. Just like when I tell people, so this is a comment from, so I'm streaming on like 5 different platforms. So this is a comment. Just like when I tell people I got a divorce, they always say, I'm sorry. You know what? That's a pet peeve for me when people say I'm sorry. Like when they find out like my daughter passed away, or, I lost someone to suicide, or a same thing for me, right? I had someone message me the other day and they were like, oh, you went through a divorce. I'm so sorry. Don't be sorry, right? Don't be is the best thing that happens to me as well. I mean, I was thinking about that today. I was like, my ex and I get along really well when we're not married, and we're doing a great job at co-parenting. So kudos, that's a positive, right? So you got to focus on the positive part of that. And I love that, because we get into that space where we're like, divorce equals failure. It doesn't at all. You got into a relationship with someone and you ended up not being a good vibrational match. But guess what? You could have been a good vibrational match to begin with. People change, people grow. My ex and I went through lots of experiences in the 7 years that we were together, one of those being the death of our daughter. We handled that situation differently. We came out of the death of our daughter in different spaces. That doesn't necessarily mean, I'm not even going to say necessarily, that doesn't mean one of us is a bad guy and one of us is a good guy. It just means that, a lot of times things happen in your relationships and it shifts you. Because here's the thing, like, look at your past friendships. If you are no longer friends with a certain person, you don't sit there and beat yourself up and you're like, well, that was a failed friendship. No, you realize that something happened and your energy shifted and you just no longer like have that um hello, you no longer have that, that connection. But you don't beat yourself up. You're just like, oh, that was my friend during this time, blah blah blah, we're not really friends anymore because this happened and we're just not as close as we were. Not a big deal. So please, if 2022 or before was, your time of divorce as well, then don't beat yourself up over it. Doesn't mean anybody's a bad guy. You're just not a good vibrational match. And we see this. We even see this with our own kids. Like, our kids go through something and maybe we're not as close as we were at one point. For those of you out there that are parents that are having this separation from your kiddos right now, I'm going to tell you what, hang in there, because after my boy's dad passed away, I lost connection with my oldest kid, like, to the point that we were just not communicating and living in the same house. And there's lots of factors that went into that wedge, but it was heartbreaking to me. It was absolutely heartbreaking. And now we have a good communication, a good relationship again. So don't give up, because, things shift and that connection that you have with people changes. And so don't beat yourself up over it, because when you give up hope, that's where you really lose it. Because then if you have no hope for it to work out, you've given up, right? And I don't want any of you to be in that space. I know what it feels like. It's a deep dark hole. I call it the rabbit hole. My goal here with my social media is to help people climb back out of that rabbit hole, because it's an ugly place to be, and I get it. I feel for you. I know what it feels like, that you got to catch yourself before you end up being stuck down there. And the more you climb yourself out of the rabbit hole, the easier it gets to get out of the rabbit hole. So have some, faith around that too, that you can get back out even if you fall down it. It takes some time. And there are times in life where it's harder to get out of the rabbit hole than other times. Like, being in this state of where I've worked really hard. Don't anybody ever watch me and be like, well, she just seems like she has it all together. Well, I do, but this didn't happen overnight, and I focus on myself a lot. I focus on myself a lot. I put myself first above a lot of people all the time, because I let go of that feeling like it's, I'm being selfish, because I'm not, because I can help. I don't know what, I like statistics. I can help so many more people if I am on top of my game, but I have to focus on myself to stay here. If I start to crumble, I can't help anybody else. I mean, I can, but it's not in an authentic way, right? Okay, so that's what I'm gonna leave you with. Growth is growth. Pick 3 things from this past year. I don't care how big or small they are, because you're just affirming with your subconscious that you did some positive. So you're not sitting here resonating with, wow, this was the worst year of my life. Because guess what? If you do that, expectations are, that's just how we work. We attach things to our past. So if I go into 2023 feeling like 2022 was a failure, I'm going to start having that anchor back. And guess what I'll do? I'll self-sabotage. Hence why the renaming of my YouTube channel is the Self-Sabotage Antidote, because that's what I'm going to become for you. So there you go. All right, you guys. Thanks for hopping on my impromptu live. I hope you're having a beautiful Thursday night, and sending you lots of love. Bless be for the upcoming new year.